Now let's see the nerve supply of the tongue. Here in this figure, on this side we are going to write down the motor nerve supply, and here we will discuss the sensory nerve supply of the tongue. All the muscles of the tongue, intrinsic as well as extrinsic, they are supplied by the 12th cranial nerve, that is hypoglossal nerve, except this palatoglossal muscle, which is supplied by the cranial part of the accessory nerve via pharyngeal plexus. In this anterior two-third part, except its circumvallate papillas, this area having the general sensation via the lingual nerve, which is actually a branch of the mandibular nerve from the trigeminal nerve, and taste sensation are carried via the coda tympani nerve, which is a branch of the facial nerve. In case of the posterior one-third of the tongue along with the circumvallate papilla, so this area having a common nerve supply with the general sensation carried by the glossopharyngeal nerve, as well as the taste sensation also carried by the glossopharyngeal nerve. While the posterior most area, this area will carry the general sensation as well as the taste sensation from the internal laryngeal branch of the superior laryngeal nerve, which is a branch of the vagus nerve. So here we can say the taste sensation will ultimately reach up to the nucleus tractus solitarius, which is present within the medulla oblongata, and from the anterior two-third portion except the circumvallate papilla, it will reach via the mandibular nerve. The posterior one-third, the taste sensation will reach to the tractus solitarius via the glossopharyngeal nerve, while the posterior most part of the tongue taste sensation will carry to the tractus solitarius nucleus via the vagus nerve. Now after completing the nerve supply of the tongue, you can pause this image and revise the nerve supply of the tongue accordingly. Now let's see the blood supply of the tongue. The tongue is supplied mainly by the lingual artery, which is a branch of this external carotid artery. And this lingual artery having three parts, the part before entering deep to the hyoglossus muscle, that is the first part. The part of the lingual artery which passes medial to the hyoglossus muscle is second part, and the part of the lingual artery which comes out from the anterior margin of the hyoglossus muscle, that is the third part. From the second part of the lingual artery, a few branches arises, and these branches will supply the posterior one-third of the tongue, and these branches are called as the dorsal lingual arteries. Third part, the artery, it is continue as the deep lingual artery, or we can say this third part, it is also called as the deep lingual artery, which is the main arterial supply to the anterior two-third of the tongue. This deep lingual artery, it is also called as arteria profunda linguli. Now when we talk about the venous drainage of the tongue, from the tip of the tongue as well as from the inferior surface of the tongue, it is drained by the superficial veins, and this superficial veins will follow the course of the hypoglossal nerve, which passes superficial to the hyoglossus muscle and ultimately drain into the internal jugular vein. While the deep veins of the tongue will drain the dorsal aspect of the tongue, and these veins will follow the course of the lingual artery, and these deep veins will passes deep to the hyoglossus muscle and ultimately drain into the internal jugular vein either directly or drain into the superficial veins of the tongue. Along with these two arteries, dorsal lingual artery and profunda lingually artery, few other branches are also going to supply the tongue, and all these are the branches of the external carotid artery, and these branches are ascending palatine and tonsillar branches of the facial artery, as well as the ascending pharyngeal artery, which is a branch of the external carotid artery. So for the quick revision, you can pause this image and revise the things. For the quick revision of the venous drainage, you can pause this image and revise the veins. Now let's talk about the lymphatic drainage of the tongue. Here in this figure, we are able to see this is the superior constrictor muscle of the pharynx. Here we can see this mylohyoid muscle. And here, just on the both the side of the mylohyoid muscle, the jugulo-digastric lymph nodes are lying on each side, and below at the bifurcation of the common carotid artery, jugulo-omohyoid lymph nodes are lying. Few other lymph nodes are also there. Submental lymph nodes are there, which are present just below the chin, and the submandibular lymph nodes are present within the submandibular region. When we talk about the lymphatic drainage of the tongue, there are two sets of the lymphatic drainage are there, and these lymphatics are one type of lymphatics. They are present within the muscular part, and that is the intramuscular lymphatics, and some lymphatics are present within the submucous region, and these plexuses are called as a submucous plexus of the lymphatics. And this type of the lymphatics, they are arranged in four groups. First group, that is the apical group. Second group, they are present within the margin, and these are the marginal group. Third group, they are present within the dorsal part of the tongue in the anterior two-third part, and that is the central group. And the fourth set, it is present on the posterior one-third of the tongue, and that is the dorsal group. So with the green color, we will focus on the drainage of the apical set of the lymphatics from the tongue. And this apical group of the lymphatics, they will drain the apex, or we can say tip of the tongue, and the area concerned with the frenulum of the tongue. And this area will drain mainly into the submental lymph nodes, either on the same side, either on the opposite side. And some lymphatics will drain into the jugulo-omohyoid lymph nodes after piercing the mylohyoid muscle, and few lymphatics will drain into the jugulo-digastric lymph nodes, and this group of lymphatics will lie deep to the mylohyoid muscle. The lymphatics from the marginal group we will draw in this blue color, and this marginal set of the lymphatics, they will drain the sides of the tongue except from the apex in the anterior two-third part of the tongue, and this area will drain directly into the submental lymph nodes, while few lymphatics will also drain into jugulo-digastric lymph node as well as the jugulo-omohyoid lymph nodes. The lymphatics from this central area we will draw with the purple color. This dorsal set of the lymphatics will drain the anterior two-thirds of the tongue except the circumvallate papilla, as well as the part drained by the apex and the marginal lymph nodes. And the central group of the lymphatics will mainly drain into the jugulo-omohyoid lymph node, either in the same side, either on the opposite side, because within the center part, the both the sided lymphatics, they are going to decussate with each other. And few lymphatics, it will also drain into the submandibular lymph nodes. while the dorsal set of the lymphatic drainage we will draw with this maroon color, and it is mainly drained into the jugulo-digastric lymph node after piercing this pharyngeal wall, and few lymphatics will also drain into the jugulo-omohyoid lymph nodes. When we talk about the peculiarities of the lymphatics of the tongue, as the lymphatics do not accompany the blood vessels, these lymphatics in the midline of the tongue having a free decussation between the two-sided tongue, and lymphatics pass bilaterally. And the tip of the tongue having the richest lymph drainage, and that's why a cancer affecting the tip spreads to the all cervical lymph nodes of the both the sides. And the group of the lymph node situated at the bifurcation of the common carotid artery, that is the jugulo-omohyoid lymph node, it is the principal lymph node of the tongue. So for the quick revision, you can pause this image and revise the lymphatics drainage.